so many people are not representing themselves in documents they are sending out for employment opportunities. Some persons, in fact, I still read a CV today that only documented what he studied, where he worked, and that's all. Not enough details about his contribution to those organizations. That email is your professional identity.
It's a new day and a new week, and of course, our very first edition of expert-led series here at Thops Institute. And our guest for today is a career coach with over 5 years of experience. He is the founder of Mindshift Consulting Limited. He has helped over 400 professionals land well-paid jobs across different sectors of the economy. Please join me as we welcome our star focus for today, Mr. Paul Adeagbo.
Thank you very much for having me here. It's a pleasure and I'm grateful.
It's good to have you on our channel today. You are somebody we always see online and, talking about career, how you've helped people coming to testify, and it's really a privilege to have you here. Welcome once again.
Thank you very much, Mom.
Okay, so how did you first become interested in helping people craft standard CV, and what led you to combine that with career coaching?
Okay, without saying too many details, I finished secondary school in 2008. I didn't get admission into school until 2014 for so many reasons that I can't say on this episode. But in those years, I spent those years working. So when I was going to school, I was going into school knowing that I'm coming back to earn more. Because in all of the places I worked, people who went to graduate of higher institutions were paid higher than I was.
Yeah.
So I knew that. So I was going into school knowing that I'm going to be paid more by the time I'm done.
Yeah.
So when I got into school, I became friends with those who were ahead of me. For age reasons, people could tell that he may be in 100 level, but he's our age mates, you get?
Yeah.
So I became friends with them. When they finally got out of school, we still remain friends. And some of them, when I started hearing how much they were making, now that they have a degree, sometimes it was lesser than what I was earning with my secondary school certificate.
Wow.
So I became genuinely concerned. I started asking questions.
Yeah.
And because I got into school to study mathematics, I could do anything with math and data.
Wow.
So that became my final year project.
Yeah.
I decided to check the unemployment rate in Nigeria and what is the cause behind the problem, why people are having all of those mess.
Yeah.
So when I published my project, the external supervisor was like, Paul, I've never seen this kind of work.
That was
before.
in school, right?
Yes, I've never seen this work before. Nigeria needs to hear this. So when he said that, that boosted my morale. I published it truly just as he recommended and it became boom. Wow. So when I started using some of the recommended solutions, started practicing them, started putting them on social media during my service year, people started bringing back results that you said this thing, I applied it and it worked. This is what I am. One of the tremendous stories that gave me a defining moment was a level mate, like we're in the same level, but she was in a different department. So when we graduated together, she implemented one of the strategies I shared, and she got into a World Bank research and funded research institute, and that opened my eye. Like, really, this works. I continued sharing it. So many people applied it, and it began to work. So those were the defining moments for me that got me into career coaching.
Have you subscribed to our YouTube channel yet? For every subscription, we would be giving the sum of 50 naira to orphanage homes.
And of course, I also realized that so many people are not representing themselves in documents they are sending out for employment opportunities. Some persons, in fact, I still read a CV today that only documented what he studied, where he worked, and that's all. Not enough details about his contribution to those organizations. So that's what got me into assisting clients with writing their CVs.
Now, as regarding that, what are the common CV mistakes you see people make on their CV?
Oh God, I've seen crazy amount of mistakes. One of them includes writing some very funny emails that will go nowhere. That
Really?
that has no professional identity.
How has email got to do with the mistakes on CV?
Okay. Because the recruiter you are sending that CV to is likely going to send you an email if he's interested in you. Then that email is your professional identity. If my name is Paul Adiago, I should not be sending an email like funnybone1.2 even though somebody's bearing funny. It's your professional identity. Let the professional email included on your CV should capture your name and your surname. It's professional. Another mistake I've seen is people are not telling the worth of their contributions. You are not telling us the responsibilities you played in the places you have worked. You just told us the name of the organization and that's all. That's not enough. Another mistake I've seen is people write security details like date of birth, local government. What does that got to do with your skills and knowledge? I don't know. I find it funny anyway. And I know that organizations also look at this and laugh. So those are more and many of the mistakes I've seen that does not do well about the professional identity we want to see of clients.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for coming. So it has been an interesting time listening to our experts for today, Mr. Paul Adiago. So if you missed any of this episode, the first session or the second session, you can go to our YouTube channel, Thoughts Institute, and get all of that. Thank you.